the hour away to go to the gym or run to the store is now looked at differently for me. I think it really kind of it took a little stress off. When my phone would ring before, oftentimes I would kind of like tense up and be like, oh, I can't, do I answer because it's loud? Or
Do you remember the Iron Chef?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. It was a fun show.
Go.
That's hilarious. A callback. That's some old school stuff there.
Old school.
All right, guys. Welcome to the Make Trades Great Again podcast. I'm Eric. He's Andy. We are plumbers and heating guys. And if you're new here, welcome. Anyway, Andy. So recent episode, we just talked about it. It just went out and we recorded it a few weeks ago, but it just went live this week. And not that it matters because when somebody hears this, it's going to be a week from now or whatever. But we talked about AI answering the phones. And I said, hey, I made an appointment or I made a request to talk to House Call Pro about it. Our software companies that you and I are using. And we've talked about that a lot in the past, but they have this product. They call it CSR AI. Mm-hmm. And it's a 24-hour a day. You turn it on and off, however you want to use it. AI customer service agent is what it is. And then so they are answering phones and redirecting calls. They have the ability to do things like schedule work, quote prices, all that kind of stuff, depending on the level at which you participate. Because you can go just as simple as it can answer your phone for you when you can't get to it, right? And so when we were recording that episode, I said in the episode, I'm like, look, I sent the little inquiry, like, I bet you they'll call me before the end of the day and we'll have something set up. And it was minutes later. I mean, an hour within our ending recording, I had already been contacted by House Call Pro. I had already set up a onboarding, question answer session with the option to onboard at that moment in time. And it was for like 2 days later. Yeah, I remember.
So let me just pause you for a second. And that fits the exact model at which HVAC companies, plumbing companies, electricians, every trade sells work.
Home service.
We've said this. We've said this for forever and ever. The faster that you can provide the quote, the faster that you can provide the yes, we'll do that, blah, 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 here's what's going to cost, the faster people go, yes.
Look, there's going to be people that are kicking tires. They always are. You always get those people that are going to call you. And if you want, you can just quote those people right over the phone. You need a 50-gallon gas water heater. Does it vent out with plastic or through the roof and a chimney? Well, it's through the roof and a chimney. Here's your cost. You could do that literally, like we could schedule this tomorrow if you want. And here's our availability and here's the brands we use.
And the AI is going to do that for you.
You can do all that if you want. Absolutely you can. And I know people are, but I have so I did the onboarding and everything right away. Like within that week, I think, or within 5 days, I'd say of our recording, I had started using it. Remember, because I had texted you like, hey, give me a call. I'm going to let it go through.
I think it was the next morning.
It might have been within at least a day or two. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think you're right. I think it was the next morning.
Yeah. Because I think you had an early call with them for an onboarding call.
Yeah.
And then I was at a project. It was maybe 10 o'clock in the morning. You're like, hey, call me. I'm not going to answer and just tell me what you think. I was like, okay.
When I started talking to him, the hesitation went away pretty fast. I mean, they were really pushing for me to do things like schedule work and whatnot, which I understand the motivation behind that. They want to prove to you like, hey, you can do this. And I'm certain that you can. I just don't do online scheduling with Aune Plumbing Heating simply because for various reasons, whatever.
Sure.
So I'm not allowing this AI agent to do that either. I'm just having it take the call. It transcribes it in real time. It asks some very pertinent questions about the process. So like if people say like, hey, what can we help you with today? And they say, I have a leak in my basement. And then it starts asking actual questions like, do you know, can you see where it's leaking? Is it on an appliance? Is it a pipe? Is it, is this an emergency? Do you need us to come out today? Or is your water turned off? Things like that. It actually asks of
Yeah.
some pertinent questions. I'm sure that conversational side of things on that large language model kind of stuff will probably even get more diverse, but
Yeah.
it transcribes it within seconds of the call ending. Within literally seconds, I have a notification saying that here's a call that came in, and it gives you a quick brief. You can have it text you, and then you can just access it. You got to access it through the browser. You can't do it in the app yet, which is
Yeah.
little cumbersome when you're only on your phone. But either way,
Well, and likely you're not sitting in the office not answering the phone.
right. Well, but okay, you're right. But great point. Great to segue into the fact, like, how would you use this, right?
Yeah.
And so for me, I use it basically all day long, 24 hours a day.
Sure.
It's
your
an
answer. It's your
automatic
voicemail.
yeah, basically it's my voicemail.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm on the phone in the office, that's a nice time to have it, right? Because I don't have somebody else there available to answer the phone. Like if you two are in the office, one or the other of you is likely able to, unless you're already on the phone or whatever. So you, in that scenario, if you're already on the phone, that line, I guess you can answer your phone anyway. But anyway, I don't know. I have it set up to do the customer intake and transcribe the call and tell me that somebody called.
Yep.
And the nice thing about the intake is it'll put the person's information into your system. It'll also take an existing customer and tell you that it's an existing customer, because that's one of the questions it asks. It's like, my name is Randy Johnson. Oh, are you Randy Johnson on 1234 Willow Street? Yep, that's me. Oh, that's freaking crazy. You know what I mean? Like it even just references my customer database as it is, because it does have full access to all your crap, right?
Yeah.
But but you select what you want it to do. So, okay. So if you can't tell already, I like it. I think it's, I wasn't very hesitant. I was more curious, and I had an idea that unless this simply just doesn't work well, I'm probably going to benefit from it, because I went into this thinking my situation isn't unique. I mean, some things about my situation is, but I'm not unique in by any standard when comparing myself to every other tradesperson out there.
Yeah.
There's plenty of us that don't have an office, somebody in there able to take and field those calls and handle this operation, which, look, I admit I would benefit from that, but I don't have that, and I'm not looking to do that. So operating like I have, as always, I've put myself at a huge disadvantage. And so this, to me, was the idea, like, for X amount of dollars, and I'll leave the cost of this till the end because I want everybody to keep listening. But for a very low cost, I think for high value, I'm going to have somebody answer the call that I'm going to miss.
You're going to miss it anyway.
Yeah. I'm already missing it. So there was very little risk in trying this out.
And in trying this out too, it's not like you're porting your phone number, right?
No.
You're not giving up your business cell phone number or your business home line.
It's all done in the phone system to forward the call, that kind of thing. Yeah. It's just right in the settings of your iPhone. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Is there's an app that you download to do this, or is it's all just
Nope. It's just some settings that you don't really typically access as a normal, like for normal use of your phone. They're already in your phone already. And so then you have to do like this, like star, blah, blah, blah. And then you
put in a new phone number, and it,
Yeah. It assigns it to the number that we use, like for our texting and stuff through House Call Pro. So like how they've given us a local number, and it's still utilizing that. It can forward the call to a person in two different ways. So like if your customer, so I have it announcing that it's AI, or I want it to. They're kind of messing with that right now. They're trying to, I guess they're making some settings changes and hopefully giving you the ability to toggle the, hey, I'm an AI agent announcement at the beginning on and off. I want it to say that. I feel more comfortable that people are just upfront knowing. I mean, people are going to know this anyway, in a sense. Like you can tell you're maybe not talking to a person, but it's so good that you have to pay attention. But anyway, where was it? Oh, the settings and stuff. I have it forwarding to a person if requested. So that's one of the options is like they anticipate that somebody along the way is going to say, I want to talk to a human. I don't want to talk to this robot. And that's fine. It's right in the initial launch of this product. I can have it forward to my number through House Call Pro, so then it'll ring to my phone, and I then have to answer it.
Yep.
Okay. It'll tell me like this is a forwarded call, so I know it's a customer that didn't want to talk to the agent. Or I can opt to pay a small additional fee through House Call Pro and elect to use their answering service, which you know the name of what's that called? Is it HCP Assist or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So then those are people. Those are real people in a call center, and they'll take the call, but to the same exact capacity that I have the CSR AI set up, where they'll just take the customer's info. It's a person talking to them and stuff. So now risk level is like, unless this thing loses its mind and wants to take over the world, or, shoot down Elon Musk's rockets or something, like, I don't know, unless something crazy happens, it's within some pretty steady guidelines. Some, it's predictable.
Right.
And
it's not going to get in an argument with your customer usually.
Right. I don't think it is. I mean,
you're an idiot, Johnny.
Yeah. You have like 4 or 5 different voices to choose from, and each one of them is different from the other. Like the one I have seems very personable. Like it sounds like you're talking to a female person, like a real it does really sound like you're talking to a person. And I even toggled on, because it's an option, you can have it silent in the background. I have it turned on right now, so it sounds like they're in a call center or like in an office.
And so I will say this.
Yeah.
Because I called that first day.
Yeah.
And it announced, I don't remember what it's Pam or something.
In particular, hold on. It says, "Thank you for calling Aune Plumbing and Heating. I'm an AI agent here to assist you. How can I help?"
Okay.
That's what it says. Like that. Maybe that's not exactly word for word, but that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. And I recall that. And so I remember hearing that, and then I'm talking to this thing, right? And I'm trying to, in my mind, I'm like trying to, how do I be a smart ass, right? Because I'm going to leave Eric this voicemail or this AI transcript that he's going to get. And I'm trying to just like, I need a 300-gallon power vent, water heater replaced in my mobile home, I don't know, whatever it was,
Yep.
But on the same, I'm like, in my mind, I'm thinking like, that's what I'm going to rattle out.
Yep.
But then I'm like, I think I'm talking to a person.
I know.
I don't want to be an ass.
No, I know. That's
right.
So crazy.
But I'm like, and I'm like answering the questions, and I'm like, okay.
It
and
just
I'm like,
told you that it's an AI
just
agent.
Told me. Right.
Yeah. And all of a sudden you're 10 seconds into it, and you're like, this isn't going to be funny because I feel like I'm being a jerk. Like you said, like,
yeah,
I say you're not alone, because I've had a couple other, like Corbo, Tom at Johnstone, he calls me the other day, and he's like, he's trying to say all these things that are funny, but you could just tell he was just like, I can't do it. Like, I feel like I'm talking to a real person. And when I do this, I feel like I'm being disrespectful to them and Eric.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it was it's so convincing. It sounds like you're talking to a real human being.
So let me ask you this. When you talk to Gemini or ChatGPT,
yep,
do you ever find yourself saying thank you when you're in the just the direct, like, native speaking?
Oh gosh. Okay, here's a little insight. Do I ever sound? Yes, 100%. You know what I do? I greet Gemini in chat. I stopped using chat. I made the switch for personal reasons, but I have always been, "Hey chat," or "Hey Gemini," and then I say thank you. Absolutely. I do. Absolutely. I talk to it exactly like I'm asking somebody a favor.
Like you would your mother.
That's just, I don't know if that's just because
Thanks
of how
for the
I
butter.
was yeah. It's so weird. I feel like it's maybe a Midwestern thing, but if you're doing it too, then it's just politeness, right?
It's just polite. I'll type it. I'll be typing, and I'm like going my round. I'm like, all right, thanks. And I'm like, it doesn't care.
Oh, I was like, oh, this is great. Thank you. I'm saying stuff like that all the time.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and then you get the canned reply. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed this. Would you like me to do more about this? I'm like, all right.
Did you know that? I don't know if this, I haven't looked into the Gemini as much as I had been looking into and learning about ChatGPT, because I'd used that for over a year or so.
Yeah.
Pretty regularly, daily almost.
Yep.
And it feels weird going away from it, because I did actually enjoy using the product, but I moved again. I'm not using the product anymore. There's settings within chat, and I'm sure it's available on, or I would imagine it is on Gemini, where you can go from the less, more agreeable to the, we're not going to totally agree with everything. You know what I mean? Like, it's not argumentative anyway, but it's like not going to be so much like, hey, that's a great idea, Eric. How about you try this? It's going to be like, yeah, you could do that, but
not quite so suck up.
Yeah, it's a slight difference. I preferred that. When I finally found out about it, I was like, oh, well, I don't want to be told how freaking awesome I am and all these dumb ideas that I have when I know they're half baked as it is. So I do want to get the attitude. Like, I liked the attitude.
Yes.
Personally.
Yep. So here's a position I like, and I've turned it on. I don't know if you've used it much in Gmail. You have the polish feature. Do you have that set up yet?
Yeah. So you can have it read and write or whatever. You type it up and then have it
works really well.
Yeah, because oftentimes I'm saying the same thing 2 different ways in the same email.
And I'm like typing, and I'm like, I'm not very dumb.
Clear. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Hit polish, and I'm like, that's super clear, and it didn't make anything up.
No, it doesn't make
add
it sound
any
like
fluff. Yeah, that was the problem I had with chat regularly, is it would fluff things excessively.
Yeah. Hey, look, I'm not
sense?
a doctor. I'm a plumber. My vocabulary probably isn't quite the same. My daily vocabulary probably isn't on the same level. I'm just going to say that.
Right.
I'm not going to use the same verbiage and whatnot. Yeah. So I like that it keeps it pretty real.
Yeah.
But it does more succinct. This is what it is. It just takes it and it gets rid of the crap.
I worked for a guy years ago, and in the previous shop owner. And I remember him telling, when I was young in writing invoices, right? Like writing a work order description. And his comment was, don't ever make an attempt to baffle the customer with bullshit.
Yeah.
Because you will make yourself look like an ass so quick when you decide that you're going to mansplain.
Yeah.
And fluff something up to make it sound more impressive and more important and more, just tell them what you did. Yeah, I went in, this valve was leaking, I replaced the rubber washer. You didn't need to put in there that
it was installed wrong by the last guy, stuff like that.
Well, I reinserted and firmly secured the compression bib washer, blah, blah, blah. And this
what did you do? I tightened the packing nut.
I tightened the packing. I checked it for leaks. It doesn't leak anymore. Have a nice day. Done. Well, right? We don't need to go through this. I affirmed that the positive pressure test on the packing was sufficient in, eliminating the drip. Or the water hydronic leakage. Quit.
The seepage out of the
seepage of the hydro molecules.
Yeah. Hydro molecule.
Get out of here.
Oh man. Okay, so I got a question back to the AI. So I had Cheryl call it, as you know. And she said, hey, I want to talk to you about this. And then we didn't connect. And so I do want to talk to her about it. But have you guys at all spent any time talking about it? Thought about
we
it
have.
At all?
Yeah. And we're going to take off on vacation here next week.
Yeah.
And to be honest, we haven't had an office day where the two of us have been in the same room for a week.
Right.
And it's something that I would actually like to do before we leave on vacation, because I would be nice to be taking transcripts and not returning any voicemails.
Dude, I'm going to tell you right now. I already said I like it. Everybody
Yeah.
listening, dude. I think I got a bunch of messages too, because I put something out on the story. I think right after we
Yeah.
had that discussion, I put something on my story, and I got like 6 or 7 replies to that from people, other guys that follow and listen and saw the story, and they're like, "I can't wait to hear this episode. What do you think of it?" Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And so some real solid questions and replies to that
Yep.
story that that had said,
Yeah.
"Hey, Andy and I were just talking about this." I'll say this, Andy. It's an hour of your time. It
Yeah.
didn't take longer than that. It's really straightforward. It's very
Right.
simple. And especially because I already know you're going to set it up exactly the way I'm using it.
Right.
You're just going to have it forward to you when you need it, when they don't want to talk to a real, when they want a real person, which you're going to be capable of handling, or you're just going to let it go to voicemail. That's fine.
Yeah.
You're not going to have it schedule any, you know what I mean? Like the simplicity of that level of setup. I had an hour into it, and it was literally because I had some questions. I was just trying to I thought I was nervous, and by the time I was done with it, I was excited. I was like, okay, let's just turn this on now. Like I didn't wait.
Yeah.
Like before I was done with the call, the onboarding thing, it was running. Like when I
Sure.
had you call it, you were my second phone call. And so I would say do it. Set up, go on the site, really just say, I know we're going to have time in the next week before we go that we could carve out an hour. And I have a suspicion that I think Cheryl is going to appreciate it so much. Just the idea that the hour away to go to the gym or run to the store is now looked at differently for me. I think it really kind of it took a little stress off. When my phone would ring before, oftentimes I would kind of like tense up and be like, oh, I can't, do I answer because it's loud, or I'm in the middle of something, or you're trying to wait for that call from that customer that you had been expecting. And now you're standing in front of another customer. Like those are scenarios for me as a one-man show where this is really, it's a no-brainer. It just seems so obvious to me now that I'm using it.
Yeah, I'm optimistic that it will help us in the sense that we have a large number of clients who will call. We don't answer. They hang up. They don't leave a voicemail. And then 1 minute later, 30 seconds later, they're calling again. And they'll do that 6, 7, 8 times. And
so
it is the fastest way to piss somebody off. Like, I don't know how many times I've personally been the one that has responded in those.
Yeah.
And the very first thing when they say hello is I say, don't ever do that again unless you want to find a new plumber. Do not. And I have been to the point where they're like, well, I was trying to get a hold of you. I'm like, I am fully aware.
Yeah. Yeah.
I am 100% aware, and I am not dogging you because I was not doing something else.
Right.
I was unable to take the phone call, and you calling 7 or 8 times in a row has pissed me off. And I'm potentially not interested in scheduling your work, and you can go find somebody else.
Well, honestly, this is already going to be perfect for you. I just say I bring this up and I keep harping on it because I want other people like me that are out there struggling like I had been for years and years to understand that something like this, okay, so I think we can wrap it up pretty quick here.
Sure.
I said I wanted to wait to say how much it costs till the end.
Yeah.
Do you know what it costs? Because I'll tell you, it's you don't pay like per call. You don't pay for the amount of times. You don't pay on volume. I guess you would pay if you had more than one number. Maybe you have to have more than one account.
If you're forwarding to multiple people.
Right. I'm not even sure how that would work. I don't care.
Right.
It's not going to be me. It's $69 a month through House Call Pro. Think about this. I'm being careful what I say, but I don't want anybody to hear this. I hope they don't listen. I think some of them do. But honestly, at $69 a week or $69 a day, but I'm paying $69 a month. This is free. This is insane.
Yeah, you pay more than that for Netflix.
Oh my gosh, it feels like it, doesn't it?
Well, you do. I mean, if you're getting the Netflix without ads at $89 a month or whatever it is now.
it's crazy
You
how
know?
simple it is, and how, like, I look at it and I'm like 3 weeks into it or whatever, and I'm just going, this is just the biggest no-brainer of all time for me. You know what I mean? Like, I can't overstate it. And so for everybody that was listening to the stories, saw that and was wondering and asked me questions, I replied to them. And I told them straight up, I'm going to look into it. I don't think I have anything to
Yeah.
lose. I'm missing the calls already. People won't call back if they miss you, in the case of, like, they're not already a customer, right? Like, they got your number off Google. They're just going to hit call quick. Those people are not calling you back when you don't answer. The people who will call you back is going to be somebody that was referred to you. Like, they have, like, with me, and your business isn't any different, but some of
Right.
people aren't like this. We're getting referrals because we specialize in, like, boiler systems. Okay,
Yeah.
those people might call back.
Yeah.
But when it's just a cold call, like, hey, I got a leaky faucet, or my water heater's crap, and you were first or you were next on the list on Google, and you were, if you don't answer, you're not like you're unlike, or you're like everyone else in your market. They're also not answering. So they
Right.
just go down to the next line. All I have now is somebody that answers the phone. It doesn't guarantee me anything, but I know it increases my chance to bring that new person in as a customer now. I know it does.
Yeah.
And I have gotten good feedback that, if we haven't already touched on that, I've asked people about it. I've had people just volunteer their opinion. I have not gotten any negative response. I don't know if people are less likely to share a negative response to me, but even when I ask, people are like, yeah, it was impressive. It sounded like I was talking to a real person.
Yeah.
And, like, people have gone out of their way to tell me as well, like, that's really cool. This is good for you, good for you, good on you, that kind of thing.
Yeah. No, that's good.
So,
It's good feedback.
I would encourage you, before you go on vacation, I would just get on the site today and just say, tell me more about. They'll call you within the next 2 hours. They just will.
Yeah.
So, and there are other companies standalone. You don't have to have a House Call Pro for this.
Oh,
It's
sure.
not a House Call Pro ad. I know it sounds like it maybe is, but I want to clarify that before we sign off. This is not to promote that product, although I would say, if you want to use their product, Andy and I both have a lot of positive things to say about it.
Right.
We can also share criticisms, but none that are causing us enough angst or problems that would have us shopping for a different product. Where I think, I think I could speak for you, perfectly content with that software package, right? Like, I like it personally. And then having this as an option just made the software even more valuable to me. I'm not gonna lie.
Sure.
It just is. So, yeah. So, anybody wondering, you knew it was coming. I wanted to share this with everybody. My experience so far, positive. I would highly recommend people looking into it, see what's available to you, and maybe give it a try. Like, for this price point and what it's doing for me, no brainer. Anyway. All right, dude. I want to remind everybody, as we wrap up, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. If you're over on YouTube, hit us up in the comments. You got that there's a link there. You can text us feedback. We got some more feedback that came in. Thanks to those that wrote in. We're not ignoring you. A couple of good messages that came in recently. We'll get to those. We'll have another listener write-in episode. And this is the Make Trades Great Again podcast. Andy Mickelson, and I'm Eric Aune. You good, buddy?
I'm good.
All
Let's
right.
have it.
Take it easy, guys.
All right. See you.